Okay, if the first rep of your interval session always feels like the hardest, the warm-up has failed you before the session has even started. If today's session is 10 times 2 minutes, simply 10 times 2 minutes with 60 seconds walk in between, then that's 20 minutes of quality work. And most runners don't arrive to the session until rep 3. So 20 minutes of work at exactly the right intensity. That's the training stimulus. That's what's driving the adaptation, the supercompensation. That's what you're training for. If you then feel ready by rep 3, you're not getting 20 minutes. You're banking 16.5 to 18 minutes max. But you're getting the same fatigue, the same recovery time, and I'd argue even more, and the same time out of your day for less improvement. And so think about it. Why do most runners say the first rep feels like the hardest, and then I gradually get into it, and by rep 3, I'm in my groove? You're feeling that way for a simple reason. You're just not preparing the body for that first and second rep. Your lungs haven't opened up to the extent that you need them. You're not pushing the level of blood around the body that your muscles are going to need, that they demand for the session. And why? Because your warm-up is the same warm-up you've been doing forever. Couple of miles, couple of kilometers, easy, and then I get into the session because you're banking that energy that you think you need for the session. But instead of banking that energy, you think you're banking that energy, but what you're doing is sabotaging the session before it even starts. Think about what that looks like. And most people tell me, I run as slow as I possibly can for 10 minutes at 10 minutes a mile, stop my watch, drink some water, and then bang, 6 minutes a mile. And so of course you're not ready. And so of course the heart rate graph doesn't look perfect because you're asking a cold, unprepared body for maximal output. So what does that lead to? You're physically not ready either. So those little niggles, small injuries. Now, this is one of the things that you can either learn the hard way or learn the easy way. It's probably better to learn the hard way by being sidelined by an injury with frustration for 2 or 3 weeks and thinking, I'm never gonna do that again. And that's exactly what happened to me. And then all of a sudden, my warm-up changed to this. I'm walking for 5 minutes. Thinking, how does the body feel after that last big session? Has it soaked in? Is there any tightness? Are my legs heavier than they should be? Or am I feeling fresh and ready to execute? And I tell you, over the last 10 years, that 5-minute walk has massively reduced my injury risk, and it sets the tone. It sets the tone for the entire week. But in that interval session where you're about to go as intense as the week gets, it is, as Jorge Masvidal said, super necessary. And then from that walk, light jogging, super slow. I'm not forcing anything. All I'm doing is listening to the body. Constantly be asking yourself, how's the body feeling? How am I feeling? Am I moving freely? Do I feel fresh? Another green light. You've got your second pass and now you can build. Now, by that point, I'm 7 to 10 minutes into the warm-up. And especially for an interval session, there is no answer to the question, how long should your warm-up take? Some days it takes me 12 minutes, I'm hyper ready to get going. Some days it's 25 minutes. And it's a wise, experienced runner who can get to 25 minutes and say, do you know what? The legs are heavy, they're tight, I'm just not ready. I'm gonna have a good night's sleep and come back the following day. When you're amped up for a session like that, amped up for an interval session, and you can make that call, you're in a place where in running, you will enjoy continuous improvement. That's exactly what we're looking for, Kaizen. And at that point, 7 to 10 minutes, then I'm dynamic stretching. Because as I've freshened up, the body's moving more freely. Now I'm getting the glutes, the hamstring, the quads, the calves, the feet ready for the session. They're mobile, the ankles ready, the feet are ready, but the big power muscles are being told, the glutes, the hamstrings, they're being told, you're doing the majority of the work today. So I'm switching you on right now because soon I need you. Now is the piece that almost everyone skips. And it's the most important point to get a level of execution that we can not only repeat week after week, but you're massively reducing the injury risk and you're accelerating a faster, fuller recovery. So all I'm doing, I've walked, I've lightly jogged, gradually accelerated a little bit, and then the dynamic stretching, and then I've accelerated a little bit more, the body's freer, I'm feeling good about the session, and I'm visualizing what this perfect session is. I've already known what is the purpose of this session, but I'm reminding myself and visualizing what perfect execution looks like, and I'm accelerating to a point where I can do 2 times 50% of the rep, or 2 times 1 to 2 minutes to get the heart rate up up to the effort level I want to put in to that first and second rep, but across the reps. Now remember, you're fresh, you're ready, hopefully well recovered from the previous session. So that might take a little bit of extra time in order to get the heart rate and the effort up to where you want to be. But by the time I'm finished with that warm up, I'm sweating and I'm ready for those first and second reps. So the trick here is, once you get your heart rate up, don't then spend 3-4 minutes programming the session in or checking the news or something like that, or even changing into your super shoes. You've already got them on. So when your heart rate is up there, quickly, 40, 60-second rest max, you're into the first rep. And so if you've never done this before, what that feels like is it's no longer a shock to the system, because physically you're ready, you've opened up the lungs and you've got the heart rate pumping to a level that it's going to be consistently throughout the session. So you've given the muscles, you've given the body exactly what it needs to execute the perfect first couple of reps. So you're getting nothing for free. And I'm telling you, if you're already running a couple of miles or a couple of kilometers easy, that's better than most runners. And a lot of busy people, the warm-up, the cool-down, is the first thing that falls if they're time pressured. So what you've done with an extra 5, 6, 7 minutes, maybe even the same time that you're taking to warm up now, just in a different way, is you're preparing the body for the best possible execution of that session. And a good warm-up like that will give you a faster, fuller recovery. So this is more repeatable. Week after week, month after month, that is what compounds. How many people around you have said, I don't do faster running, I don't do intervals because that's when I get injured? Look at their warm-up. They've removed a major tool available to them to prepare for dream marathon time, and yet a big component of executing that is neglected. And that's just one component. Imagine finding tens of those that you're doing not at a 10 out of 10, but either not at all or can be improved massively. Each one of those impacts the other, and that's where you get these huge breakthroughs that seem brilliantly unreasonable. So if you're training for a marathon or a half marathon, this late September, October, November, and this time you want to nail it, you want to have that major breakthrough, and you want to learn how to train in the right way exactly for you, and you don't need the accountability, it's already getting done. You've already got the work ethic and the discipline. What you need is the 5 hours that you're already putting the energy and effort and time into, directing into precisely the right work that you need to do, and the progressions to peak in time, deload, and pace the race so that you come out with the best possible result on the day. Then get in contact by booking a call in the link in the description. That warm-up is the difference between training hard, running hard, and feeling good about yourself at the end of the session, and being able to string 1 or 2 of those together and executing in a way where you can stack 30 of those together. All of a sudden, you're seeing quicker paces for exactly the same effort. It really is massive.